Palomba on pole. We race. Fabulous start by the homeboy, leads down into turn one, and Dennis splits the Birrell Art carts. Good start also by Tom Luye, who goes into position 4, but he runs in deep, holds it. Nicely done by Tom Luye, the Frenchman in the Tony kart, who won at Franciacorta 2 weeks ago, up into position 4. Palomba, position 1 from pole position. Denner in second place. Already the fight is on. Birrell Art, CPB Sports Sodi kart, and the Tony kart of the Franciacorta race winner. Palomba down the back straight. Defensive for the first time. There is Matteo Viganò for the Lennox Racing team in the Charles Leclerc kart. A good start for Matteo. 117 from the outside of the fourth row of the grid. And also, don't forget the Sicilian Alex Marigliano. They come across the line for the first time as Denner is slow out of the final corner. And he actually cops a tap from the Birrell Art of Bertucca, the championship leader, who pushes Denner. In fact, he drives down the inside. Christian Cannibal Bertucca up into second place. Birrell Art go 1 and 2. Palomba desperately wants this on his home circuit. As we said, he ended in the wall on lap 2 at Franciacorta, still 4th in the series. This is the track. He owns this piece of bitumen. He's the fastest driver here at the moment. His teammate, the championship leader, ranges up behind him. Tom down the inside, makes contact with Denner. Tom and Emilian Denner. Oh wow, on lap 2 at the end of the old back straight, they both went for the same piece of bitumen. It did not work. Denner got airborne up into the air. That may well cost him any chance here this afternoon if the kart is bent. Came back down to earth with an almighty thud. And the Birrell Arts go 1, 2 and 3. Palomba, Bertucca and Fast Freddy up into third place. He's done a 55.019. He's the fastest driver on the circuit. In fact, the Birrell Art manufactured karts are first, second, third and fourth. Of course, that is Matteo Viganò. In the Lennox Racing Charles Leclerc karts in position 4. Marigliano for Team Maranello, P5. Senna Van Wallstein, Gustafsson, Dennis still circulating. He's in position 8. Well, a sensational start. May have claimed 2 of the expected front runners. Emilian Denner falls down the field. Tom Luye is out. What a disaster for the Frenchman, who made that stunning victory at Franciacorta 2 weeks ago, as Bertucca gets frustrated behind his teammate. The Birrell Art S15 chassis, first, second and third. There's Matteo Marigliano in the background in the SRP. Maranello actually catching the first 4. He's done the fastest lap of the race at 54.621, a tenth of a second faster than the 4 karts manufactured in Lissone on the outskirts of Milan, not too far from Monza. They're running first through to 4th. Marigliano is catching him. Bertucca down the inside, and this time the championship leader takes it back. Can he take his 3rd victory of 2023? Palomba on his home circuit would love nothing better to win in front of his fans, his family and friends here at Circuito Internazionale Napoli, but that was too easy. Palomba back into second place. Bertucca is pulling away already. Christian, the VT Tune TM power plant on the Birrell S15 chassis, which still runs first, second and third. Bertucca already with 4/10 of a second. Senna Van Wallstein now trying to put himself into this battle. The fastest driver on the circuit is the reigning champion for CPB Sport Sodi kart. Senna, he's in P6. This is lap 5 of 17, round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series, as they race down the back straight at ferocious speed. Viganò down the inside, and Palomba at his home circuit is off the podium. This is not what he planned when he woke up this morning. Giuseppe Palomba with a super start from pole position. Back into second, back into third, now he's into 4th. He'll be 5th if he's not careful. Closes the door on the Sicilian, who gets a good run. Palomba knows he's there. That is the reigning champion, the Dutchman, Senna Van Wallstein. Marigliano up the inside at 147 k's an hour. Can't quite do it. The Sicilian in the Maranello. He needs to quickly because Senna is coming. Bertucca P1, Slater P2, Matteo Viganò for the Lennox Racing Team in position 3. Palomba's in trouble. He's in P4 and he's being attacked not only by Marigliano, and he's been passed by Marigliano, but also Sander van Wallstein, and right behind him is the reigning world champion, Victor Gustafsson, in the first of the CRGs. There is Vigano on your screen. Driving for Jordan Lennox Lamb, just Jordan Lennox Racing Team, who himself is a former WSK Supermaster Series champion. Jordan taking the title back in 2012, head of Jan Mitra and Francesco Cilenta a good decade ago. Now team manager running the Charles Leclerc kart for his friend CL, who's about to kick off the FIA Formula One World Championship over in the desert. Later on this afternoon, Matteo Vigano, Scusa Super Nationals champion from a couple of seasons ago, has won just about every international race. He's P3 on the podium at the moment, behind his sort of teammates, Slater and Bertuca, the Birla team. Multiple victories over the past few seasons. The WSK Euro Series, the WSK Open Series, and they run 1-2 here. Marigliano up into P4, Palomba back to 6, being caught by the 2020 world champion, Jeremy Iglesias. He's ahead of a trio of Frenchmen, Renaudin, Denner. Renaudin on his return from injury. The new signing for the DR Racing Car team, Adrien Renaudin, is in position 8. Emilia Denner still circulating in P9 ahead of Daniel Vasile. That's the view down the old back straight here at Circuito Internazionale Napoli, one of the fastest circuits in the world, an average speed of over 100 kilometers an hour. The top speed through the speed trap during the week, 153 k's an hour. Not quite doing that in the final here this afternoon. Almost 150 without the slipstream. Bertuca, Slater, Vigano, Marigliano, who won at Lonato at the end of 2022, the WSK Final Cup. The young Sicilian, following in the footsteps of previous Sicilian drivers, Alfio Spina, former WSK Euro Series champion, and of course Gabriele Mini, who won the 2018 WSK Supermaster Series, and of course took pole position yesterday in Bahrain in the first round of the FIA Formula 3 World Championship. Alex Marigliano from the island of Sicily in the south of Italy, a step off the podium at the moment for the SRP Maranello team. TM running first, second, third, fourth, fifth as well with Victor in the 131 CRG. The same for Palomba. Iglesias, the first non-TM engine, is Renaudin, the modern powered DR kart, in position 8. He's ahead of Denner and Daniel Vasile. In fact, Daniel has just gone by Emiliano. Maximilian Paul just behind in 11th place. Maximilian Paul, the driver from Dresden, in the second DR car. Also racing in the GT Open International GT3 Championship for the Oregon Lamborghini team. There he is, going through down the back straight. Maximilian, P11 at the moment, took a stunning heat victory last night. The second DR kart is ahead of Riccardo Longhi, Jean Nomblot and Jenna Civico. So we move into the second half of the final. It's turning into a chess match here. It'll come down to the second half. The final stages of the second half of the race. Bertuca is not pulling away. The gap is only 0.3 of a second. Matteo in position 3 on the back of fast Freddie Slater. First here in KZ2 for the 14-year-old. Pole position in his first ever KZ2 race at the WSK Champions Cup, scorching around a freezing cold Lonato circuit to go P1 in qualifying on the 27th of January to start the 18th season of WSK promotion competition. There's Freddie in position 2. The gap 0.4 of a second now between Christian and Freddie, and 0.08 between Matteo Vigano. from Bergamo in the north of Italy. And on the back of Slater from the British Midlands. Here's an opportunity. Matteo dives down the inside. Figano up into position 2. That was a nice move. We'll see if Freddie can go with him, if he can respond. There is Marigliano in the background, position 4. Victor, the reigning world champion, in 5th place in the CRG. Then it's Palomba. He'll miss the podium today. He'll almost certainly miss the victory, which he desperately wanted. He's ahead of the 2020 world champion Iglesias, Renaudin in the first of the DR cars, Vasile and Maximilian Paul, the driver from Dresden, in the second DR kart, powered by the Modena. The German, the first German in fact, rounds out the top 10. Christian Bertucca has an enormous lead in the championship if he can hold on for the remaining 5.5 laps. And his cause has been helped by the fact that you may have noticed Senna van Walstein has disappeared. He is out. He joins the list of retirements, including Tom Luyet, Samuel Luyet, and German Foltev has also just retired. So the punching match, there is German at the bottom of your screen, pushes the energy car quickly out of harm's way as the field come racing by. That's disappointing. We were expecting fireworks from Denner, Van Walstein, and also Tom Luyet. Well, we did get it in sort on lap 2, but it was very brief. Tom Luyet and Emilien Denner, the 2 French drivers, in fact, coming together. Emilien is still circulating. He's down in 12th place. Senna van Walstein is out, and Tom Luyet, the Franciacorta race winner, has retired. Christian Bertucca. He's got a fight on his hands, though, because he's dropped off his teammate Slater, and Matteo Vigano is catching him. Christian Bertucca, even if he does get past, will have an enormous lead going into the final round at Cremona on the 30th of April. The deciding round of the WSK Supermaster Series for 2023. And almost certainly Senna van Walstein will not defend his title successfully. Vigano has cut the gap from 0.4 of a second down to 0.2. Fastest driver on the circuit is Victor Gustafsson, who goes down and takes position 4 away from the Sicilian Alex Marigliano. Victor with a 53.732 scorches around the 1,550 metre Sano circuit. He's now a step off the podium. Vigano, 1 position off the top step. A great start from Matteo. Started out of grid 8, remember. Picked them off one by one. He's gone by Freddie Slater, who's not out of this either. 3 laps now remaining. Can Vigano take the victory? Or can Bertucca take his 3rd KZ2 WSK victory of 2023? Even if he does get past, he will have an enormous lead going into the championship final in Cremona. But Matteo wants the victory here. There's Marigliano behind Victor Gustafsson. Renaudin is behind Palomba, ahead of Iglesias, and Maximilian Paul up into 9th place. Vigano dragging Slater along. Now it starts to come alive in the dying stages. A sedate race up until this point, not any longer. He goes down the inside. Matteo Vigano, bravissimo, goes through and takes the lead away from Bertucca. Victor, can he put the CRG up onto the podium? 2 laps now remaining. Slater, can he take it? P2 in the WSK Champions car for the 14-year-old on the back of the much more experienced Matteo Vigano. This is the penultimate lap of the race, and it's now started to come alive. Slater senses his opportunity to take a stunning KZ2 victory here today. That was Denner going through. He's in position 11. Vigano's got the race lead, but he's under attack. Fast Freddie around the outside, goes wheel to wheel. Has the Englishman done it? Yes, he has. Fast Freddie goes through to take the lead on the penultimate lap of the race. He was seemingly out of it. Look at the front nose cone, though. He did run into the back of Vigano at the end of the old back straight. It is fairly belted in. Let's hope for his sake it's still in place. This is the last lap of the race, and Freddie Slater's in 1st place. Can he take a remarkable history-making victory here today? Bertucca's back into P3. Viganol, after briefly leading, is back in second place. Slater surely will do it from here. The former world champion on his last lap races down the old back straight, looks over his right shoulder. Fourth, fifth, sixth gear. Now down through the gearbox, hard on the brakes. Viganol now has to defend from what is still the championship leader, Bertuka, who has to hold off the reigning world champion, Victor Gustafsson. Into the final corner. Freddie Slater down through the gearbox. Fast Freddie from the Kings England accelerates. That checkered flag waves. He's done it. What a remarkable victory. What a comeback. Slater wins round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series. Martel Viganol P2. Bertuga third again. And now with an enormous lead of 92 points going into the championship final at Cremona on the 30th of April. Slater